Welcome back to my channel. This is Abisaya. So my marriage is 4 years. Yay! I don't know if you can see those cuties. Yeah, that was taken was a photo shoot, I think, for our 4th year anniversary and in preparation for my daughter's first year birthday. So I thought, oh, let me just tell you guys about how how we spent our anniversary. But then I thought, okay, I've not actually spoken to you about my daughter. And so this video will start off with sharing the testimony about how we conceived the story of the pregnancy journey, and most importantly our birth. This is just to encourage somebody, make people be reminded that God really is at work, and most importantly that God's power, God's might is awesome. God is almighty and God is powerful. Okay, so we had planned that we're going to try for our second child when my son, at least after it's like 18 months or so. We felt like, okay, two years in between is not so bad and all of that. And so it was during the lockdown. Okay, let's try and whatever. And then I felt ill. I felt seriously ill, badly ill. Like I was something like more sicker. No, I was really ill. I was more sick than I was when I had my first child. And then we got to the hospital, and then they said, oh, we can see something, but there's no heartbeat yet. There's no heartbeat. Come back in 2 weeks time. If you still don't see a heartbeat, we have to evacuate. And I'm like, what? And and so that kind of just started the whole journey for us, for me most especially. That started the whole journey. And then so we got back after 2 weeks, and yay, there's a heartbeat. So I was excited and all, but then I had a serious case of morning sickness, which they call hyperemesis gravidium or something. I'm going to try to put the correct spelling somewhere in this video so you could see. And so I was really ill. I hated myself so much, and then I was really locked down. So you can imagine, if people are not sick, they've gone, the anxiety of just having to stay indoors and not seeing anybody or going out or whatever. And then I was really ill. I was always vomiting. I was always spitting. I couldn't eat. I lost so much weight, which was a good news, because me, I'm an addict weight watcher. I lost weight. I couldn't eat. I couldn't stomach so many things. My mental health was so bad, and and so, well, I felt, oh, this is part of the thing. After the first trimester, this should go on hold. And then I remember going back again for another of my checkup scans and all of that, and then I was told I had bladder stones or kidney stones, yeah, somewhere in my abdomen that could affect the pregnancy in the long run. It could affect the growth, the development of the pregnancy in the long run. And I had to go see a specialist for consultation and probably get a surgery done or something. And I'm like, kilo alone, what is this? And so it continued like that. And so that was when I'm like, this is serious. So I started praying. I started trusting God. I was most definitely afraid. I was fearful. I was anxious. I will not lie. And then I think I was given like 4 weeks or so to monitor it. Was it going to grow? Was it going to get bigger? Was it going to be more? See, thank God it's a year after now, and I'm so thankful to God that it's a thing of the past. I can't really remember so much of the details right now, but I think I wrote an article about it when I gave birth. I'm going to try to put it maybe in the description box, or you follow me on my Instagram, Andrew. I'm going to definitely put it there on my Instagram. AA Bisayo, Bisayo. So I will put it somewhere in my Instagram and or maybe the description box so you can read the full details. But then so I went there, and thankfully, like, I had to call people, tell my parents or a few close friends to pray with me and all of that. And after like a month or so, Ogunshe, I was told they were no longer there. Something that they said I might have to, well, God is powerful, in short. And so I went, and they're like, this is gone, but then something else has happened again. And I'm like, what is this, for God's sake? What is this, for God's sake? I remember it was during the lockdown period, so even the fear of going to the hospital was another thing. COVID was everywhere, going to the hospital again. And and then I was told I had placenta previa. Placenta previa is in stages, is in grades, I'd say. It's where the placenta, which is meant to be at the up part of your womb, is no longer there, is now down close to the cervix. And that means in most cases, these things, pregnancies don't last because you end up losing the baby. And so yeah, my placenta had dropped and come close down to the cervix. And I got that news again. Remember, it was for news of no heartbeats to I had some kind of stones in my abdomen that was going to affect. And then I'm hearing, and then that's coupled with the morning sickness and nonsense pregnancy symptoms I was having. And then I was told I had placenta previa, and they said it wasn't going to, my pregnancy might not even reach 28 weeks. I might lose the pregnancy before 28 weeks because of the kind of because of the stage it was, that I was going to probably lose the pregnancy at 28 weeks. So my God. And that was the beginning of the bass for me. Mind you, I wanted a girl first as my first child because I had this fear of having all boys. And so I wanted a girl first as my first child, but I didn't have one. I had my beautiful, handsome, super amazing baby boy. And so I'm like, okay, this second I better be a girl. This second I better be a girl. So I think I won't say the only good news anyway, because God has his way of working in amazing ways and wonderful ways. But then I had, okay, every time I keep going for scans or going for checkup, there's always one bad news or the other for me. And so the only time I went for checkup and I had a good news was when I went to check the sex of my baby. And then they said, oh, it looks like you're going to be having a girl. Yeah, if you say I was happy. I got my husband fast. Guess what? My baby girl is coming. My baby. And this was in the midst of all the fear of, this baby is there. Will this happen? Will this happen? And so throughout that time, it was so bad. I was on bed rest lots of times. I couldn't walk. I was asked not to bend down. I was asked not to stay do any strenuous work. I was asked to just bed rest. And then along that time, we had to resume work. And so imagine going on a 9-month or something break from lockdown, and then I resume and I can't even go to work as I should because the doctors placed me on bed rest, sick leave here and there and all of that. So it took a toll on me, especially because it was as if I was not serious at work. I would go and say I can't come to work, or send a message, and my boss would be like, this one's looking for excuse to stay at home after this 9 months break, And so I was constantly on bed rest. I was constantly checking myself to see if I was bleeding. Any small spotting, I would have to rush to the hospital. And all of that. I kept managing. And then close to the end of my second trimester, to the first week or so of my third trimester, I had BP issues. My blood pressure was just skyrocketed, and so A side note, for my first child, I had what they call preeclampsia. It's a case where you have very, very high BP, protein in your urine, and it's like pregnancy induced blood pressure. I had this, so I had to give birth to him early too because of that, for fear of me going into seizures and all. And so my third trimester right now, and I'm having the same issues with the placenta previa. And so it was so bad. I'm like, hey God, from one bad news to the other, what is happening? Devil, this girl that I know that I'm having right now must stay. And so I was battling the placenta previa. I was having high blood pressure. I had to be placed on several medications. It was like I was going for scan every week or every 2 weeks just to make sure I was fine, to see if the baby was fine also, and all of that. And so this fateful day, a day after, okay, so on the 14th of February, the Valentine's Day, I was feeling so ill. I was so down. There were times when my blood pressure was 160, 100, 160, 90. There was time it was even 175, 110. You know, I kept using the medications and all, but it just didn't seem like it was working. And so on the 14th of February, I checked my BP. It was on a Sunday. My BP was high. I'm like, okay, I don't think I would go to church today. We had another program in the evening, so I opted to go for that one instead of going in the morning and in the evening. And so I stayed at home. I got cakes, candies, and whatnot, wine and all of that for my husband. It was a fun day and all. We went for the program in the evening, and then the next day was a Monday. So, okay, because I had issues with my BP, like throughout the week leading to the 14th of February, my BP was just so high, I couldn't handle it anymore. And my next appointment date was meant to be the next Friday. But I battled with, should I wait till Friday, to 6 days time to go to the hospital, or should I just go to the hospital today, which is not really a clinic day, but just go and try to see someone that, so come on, this BP is too high. My BP was 160, 90, 160, 100 when the doctors had to induce me to give birth to my first child. And here I'm seeing 175, 110, and I'm like, no, this is too much. And so we decided that Monday, the next day on the 15th, I was going to just go to the hospital to complain. Like I was fine physically, there was nothing wrong with me. I just wanted to complain that my BP was high and to see if they would give me more medications or stronger meds rather. And so I went, and as we got to the hospital, I dropped my son off at school first. And then as we got to the teaching hospital, I got down, and I don't think I'd taken up to 2-3 steps. I felt like a pressure in my panties. And I'm like, okay, that's my husband. I'm feeling something. I'm like, okay, well, I'm in the hospital already. Let me just walk into the clinic. And then I checked the next step, and I felt more pressure. And then I touched my trouser, and my hands were soaked with blood. That's when my wala started. I was so afraid. I was crying. I was not really crying per se. I was just really, really anxious. I was like, K blood, K blood, K blood. So we didn't even know where we were to go to because it wasn't my clinic day. And so I just wanted to just walk into the general GOPD, general outstation, outpatient, whatever, to ask where to go to. But then as I felt blood and my trouser was already getting soaked with blood, I'm like, okay, I think there was one emergency. There's a gynae emergency section. I just entered the car and I told my husband to just drive straight there. I didn't wait for the guy to even put off the ignition. As he just stopped like this, I got down, holding my bum bum. Hey, my God in heaven. Holding my bum bum. And then I was just, what's it called? I was just holding like as if if I used my hand to hold my bum bum, the baby would stay inside. Oh God, it was one of the most, I can't even find the words to describe it. So I just kept walking slowly. I was going, oh God, my baby, K, my baby, K, my baby. I kept saying, K, my baby, my husband, like, I was calling my husband. I was like, "Okay, my baby, okay, my baby." And then I went in, and the nurses, "Oh, madam, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Blood, blood, 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 blood." And so they take me into one of the rooms. They examined me and all of that and all of that. People came, and at the moment I knew God was going to save me, God was going to save my baby, was the moment I saw the doctor who attended to me with my first child. Like, that man is God sent. It's like that man, God just said, "Man, my daughter, you will be the one to help her in her childbearing episodes." And so as I saw the man, I'm like, "Okay, God, thank you, this is an answer to my prayers." Blood was still coming. They were asking questions. The man was trying to hasten it. I told my husband to get some things and all of that. I apparently had to do an emergency CS. My baby's heartbeat was drastically going down. I was losing so much blood. I had to do a CS. Apparently, the placenta had detached completely from my womb, and my baby was swimming in my own pool of blood. Okay, pardon me for people that don't understand Yoruba. The baby girl she has not even learned how to swim in normal water. Na blood she dey swim inside, and so our heartbeat was going down. There was just so many gbasgbos, commotion, and all of that, trying to see if I could be saved and my baby. I think I got to the hospital around a few minutes after 8, but the CS didn't start until around after 12. So this is like 4 hours. 4 hours. Imagine a mature human rather, drowning in water for more than 10-20 minutes. And God kept my baby and saved her. She was like practically swimming in my pool of blood for 4 hours. At the time when they checked, just before they cut me open, they didn't even know if it was my heartbeat that was beating or hers, because they couldn't even feel anything anymore. But see here, see that beautiful baby girl up there. She's a product of God's amazing love, of God's mercy. Her name is Eria Nolua. She's an evidence of God's mercy for me. We call her Kiki Feolua. Like that love, Jaburata. She embodies God's love for us all, for her, for me, for us as a family, because it's been, oh my God. But then the good thing, so even right from the womb, when I was going through all of those times, when I was going through the times when they said there was no heartbeats, when they said I had some kind of stones, when they said I had placenta previa and the BP issues, all through those times, we kept saying that this guy is not good. She doesn't want to go with all these bad that the devil is bringing to her. She's a fighter, and she has proven to be really, like, she has proven to be so strong. And like I used to say, since before they brought her from the hospital, this girl has been sleeping through the night. No night duties, no 2 hours feeding and all of that. She's so peaceful. It's not that she's trying to show herself like, I did not give you a lot all these days, so I'm going to show that I did there. And so she's such a peaceful baby girl. She's so active, so beautiful. See now, just like mama. She's just so amazing. She has given us such peace. She has made us experience God's love in a whole new level. She has made us know that God really has mercy on us, And so we celebrated our first year birthday on the 15th. Mind you, our anniversary is usually on the 17th of February. My husband was hoping, "Oh, come on the 17th. Even that 17th, got baby gone like premature, because she was just almost 8 months then. She was not even up to 8 months then when she was born. And so she was born 2 days before our anniversary, just before, I think like a few days before she was 8 months. And so we celebrated our birthday on the 15th of February this year. And now it had to be big. Well, it's not big, but I just had to look for a way to really celebrate what God has done for me, what God did for me throughout the pregnancy journey, and what God has done throughout our 1 year on earth, because we had issues with my son. He had some health issues, and so between the time he was born and his 1 year birthday, we were like regular customers in the hospital. He was also born premature. We were like regular customers. So having a girl who was born premature, even in more difficult circumstance, she didn't have to go to the NICU. She was with me right from when she was born, even though she was really tiny. She was 2 kg, and all of that, just all of that, and seeing that she's such an healthy baby. She's such an healthy baby. We didn't have to go to the hospital for any emergency. I think she has fallen in maybe like 2 or 3 times. But I remember with my son, it was like every month we kept going and kept going and kept going. I was always losing weight, but she's such an healthy eater. We call her foodie. She's such an healthy eater. She has such an healthy appetite, and so just all of that, I'm like, God, you are merciful to me. God, you love me so much. This girl really embodies your love. This girl really is an evidence of your mercy. Like, you are just so good. You've blessed me with this gift, and I can't but say thank you. So she clocked 1 year in February, because we had so much going on, we wanted to celebrate our 4th year anniversary, because we had not had any party, any anniversary getaway. We were not really able to celebrate our anniversary well because of so many things, which I'm still going to talk about later in this video. And so we had to just celebrate our first. I'm going to put pictures so you can see and enjoy. I'm going to put, I think, 1 or 2 few videos also, so you can see and thank God for me, and know that no matter what it is you're going through, He says, do not fear, for I'm with you. Do not be dismayed, from your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. God says as in Isaiah 41 verse 10. So do not fear. God day your back. For the God to give the devil a laugh several times during my pregnancy, He says, no, this one, she's going to have it no matter what you do, devil. It's just an evidence that there's nothing you can't do. You want that God can't do for you, basically. So please, in the comment section, if you like this testimony, if you are moved by what God did for me, please share this video to your friends, comment, tell me one thing God has done for you in the past 1 year that has left you wowed by God's love and mercy. Please share, turn on your notification button so you can get more videos, share with your friends, and most importantly, please subscribe. So this is going to be a series. I'm going to be starting with my baby girl's conception birth story, and then how we celebrated our 1st year birthday. I think I'm going to do that in another video, because planning a 1st year birthday, no be being so I be, how did they say it? So I'm gonna be doing that also later on. Watch out for that video. I'm also going to be gisting you about how I celebrated my 4th year wedding anniversary. Yeah, and so thank you for watching. I love you guys. God loves you. God really is at work in our lives. Remember that. It says every single thing works together for good for those that love God and are called according to His purpose. That's from Romans 8:28. I love you guys. See you in my next video. Thanks for watching.